Alright, today we're going to be building this toggle switch right here. As you can probably guess, it turns on, it turns off, does everything you need a toggle switch to do. Maybe you're building an app and you want to have some nice little buttons that people can click on. It looks pretty nice. So we're going to build that in React. Enough introduction. I'll assume you have a React app right here. If you don't, just create a sample project with create React app or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Visual Studio Code and start the server. Alright, so this is going to be more of a CSS tutorial than a React tutorial, because honestly, the React is pretty simple. Most of this is just going to be styling. But anyway, let's create the component right now. So we're going to create a new component called toggle.js, and we're going to create a React component right here. So behind the scenes, this toggle component is just going to be a checkbox, because a checkbox, it just uses two states, on and off, and we don't really need to reinvent the wheel. We're just going to use a checkbox and then just restyle it to look like this. So what you're going to want to do is create an input with the type of checkbox, of course. Close this, and we're going to import this into our app with import toggle from that toggle component. So let's just add this right here. And so if we refresh this right now, we now have a checkbox right here, as you can imagine. And you probably want to save this to state. So let's grab the useState hook from React and then say constant toggled, and set toggled is from useState. We're going to set the default value as false. So let's just save that. And now we're going to pass to this onChange. So we're going to get the event, and then we're going to set the state to checked or not. So we can say set toggled is going to be event.target.checked. So inside the event, inside the target of the event, we're going to have a checked property, and it's going to be true or false depending on whether the checkbox is checked or not. That makes sense. This is not going to work because we have to pass this to this onChange, or you can just grab it from props. So let's say onChange is going to be equal to onChange. We're just destructuring the props from here. Okay, and now this should set the state. Obviously we can test that out by putting something down here. Let's say paragraph, and let's say the switch is, if toggled, then say on, if not, then say off. And switch is now off, the switch is on. Okay, so that's passing the state correctly. And that's basically all you need to do on the React side of things. Obviously, you can also send this to a database. You can include this as a part of a form, but now we're just passing it to state. That's all I'm going to show in this example. So let's get started with the CSS. So for this project, I'm going to be using a library called Styled Components, but you can actually use whatever you want. So if you just want to use CSS and classes, go ahead. I'm going to be using styled components because that's what I use with most projects. I have a whole nother video on styling in React if you want to see that, but you can follow along if you use styled components or not. But for me, I am, so let's import styled from styled components. And so this switch component is going to be made up of a few different things. So first off, we're going to want to wrap it with a div. And then we're going to actually hide the checkbox right here. So this is not going to be visible. Instead, we're just going to have a span here, and then style the span to actually be the slider for the switch. So right now, this doesn't look like much, but we're going to create some styled components. Let's say constant input wrapper. This is going to be the wrapper or the div. So let's say style.div. If you haven't used style components before, you can just follow along, just put class name right here, and then add the CSS we're going to add into this class right here. So that's if you haven't used style components before, but I'm just going to set this to position relative, as we're going to have some absolutely positioned elements inside here, and we want it to display properly. And so we can replace this div with input wrapper. Same there. And now what we're going to do with this input right here, we're actually going to hide this completely. Okay, so we're going to completely hide the checkbox. Let's say constant input is equal to styled.input. And we're not actually going to write display none, as you might expect. We're actually going to say position absolute, and then completely hide this from the page with this little trick, left negative 99999 pixels. I don't know why that happened. And then we're going to say top, the same thing, negative a whole bunch of pixels. Basically, we're going to send this input to the shadow realm. It's never going to be visible. Let's change this so it actually appears on the page. And you might be saying, why don't we just use display none or visibility hidden? That's so that we can still tab through the page and select the checkbox. So if you use display none, it's not going to be accessible. If somebody's using something like a screen reader, they're not actually going to be able to select the toggle. But we want this to function exactly the same as a checkbox. But yeah, we're just going to send this input so far off screen that it's never going to be seen ever again. And we're just going to replace this with the span right here. So the span is going to be all the magic. And I don't want to type out all this CSS actually. So let me just paste this in here. Okay, here is the entire CSS that we need for this span. So I'll go over this line by line so you're not confused. But let's just replace this right here with slider. And then, yeah, now we have this slider right here. So let me actually comment all this out so we can go over things line by line. So first we're just displaying it as flex so that it's aligned properly. And then we're going to set the width to 50 pixels and the height to 25 pixels. If you want to make this scalable, then you can replace these with some variables and maybe do some math to make it scalable. But for me, I'm okay with having all of my toggle switches the same width and the same height, so I don't really mind. And then we're just setting the border radius to some high value, just so these are perfectly round edges. That's a nice effect. Of course, if you just wanted this to be a square, you could delete the border radius. We're just setting the background color to some nice gray right here. Setting the position relative. And then we're putting the transition background color 0.2 seconds. So we want to change the background color whenever this is switched on. So that's what this is going to do. It's going to fade it in so it looks nice. And then what we're doing here with this pseudo element, this is the little button that you see here. So I'll save that. This is going to be this. Empty content, so it actually displays on the page. Position absolute, so we can position it wherever we want. And we want it 2 pixels away from the top, 2 pixels from the left, and a little bit smaller, so yeah, it doesn't take up the entire height. And the border radius again to give it a nice circle. I actually don't know why I set this so high. It can actually just be the same as the height, and it'll display correctly. Transition 0.2 seconds so that it'll slide over nicely whenever we add that animation. And then the background is going to be white, and we just add a nice little box shadow here just to make it look nice. This is completely optional, but you know, I like the details here. It just makes it look a bit more nice, a bit less flat. So we're going to leave that in there. And as you can see, this actually does not do anything at the moment. These are just the styles for the unflipped switch. Okay, so in the CSS, we want to check if the input is checked or not. As you can remember, it's a checkbox. So we can actually get that from CSS for the input whenever its state is checked. And then we don't actually want to style this input. As you know, we've hidden it completely. So we want to get the span that's next to it. And with CSS, we can do it with adjacent sibling right here. So this will grab the next span and it'll style it. So whenever this is checked, it's going to style the span like this. So let's change the background color to this nice blue I have here. And if you click on it, okay, and this is not working because I actually made a mistake. This should not be a div right here. This should be a label, so that everything inside this label can be clicked on and it will affect the checkbox right here. So if this is just a div, then the slider has no relation to the input, so it's not going to work. But if we make the wrapper a label, then we can now click this on and off. All right, so it does change color. We also want the button to slide over, so we're not done yet. But we can say whenever this input is checked, take the span, and we also want to get the before pseudo element, and we want to position it so that we have 25 pixels to the left. As you can see, it now switches over. It's a couple pixels off. Let's make it 27 pixels, and it's now working correctly. All right, so this now switches on and off. That's pretty nice. And if you want, you can just end the tutorial there. You're completely happy, it works fine. But I wanted to add a little bit more styling just to make it look nice. All right, so we can actually make the animation a little bit smoother with one trick. This is completely optional, but I like it. So let's say whenever this span is active, this is basically when it's being clicked on. We want to take the before pseudo element and say width is actually equal to 28 pixels. So you might be asking, okay, what does this do? This just makes it a little bit longer whenever we actually click it. So as you can see, it has a nice effect. Whenever you go this way, not as much. So let's fix that. And the best way I found to do this is just by using this weird little hack where you calculate 100% of the width of this minus 2 pixels for the little gap on the side. And then we also want to add the transform here and say translate x is going to be negative 100%. And this is kind of a weird little hack, but it makes it completely line up. And as you can see, whenever we click, it now has this nice effect where it kind of enlarges a little bit and then goes back. It just makes the animation seem a bit more fluid and natural. So I like that. It just makes it look a bit better. One last thing we can do is add a little outline around this whenever it's selected. So as you can see, whenever you're tabbing through this, there's no way to tell when this is actually highlighted. So maybe you want to use it with your keyboard and you're not sure if it's highlighted or not. The default CSS style sheets will put a little outline around the checkbox whenever you tab over it. So I want to make it more accessible and continue to have that outline so people don't get confused. And we can do that by adding a few more styles right here with the box shadow. So basically we're saying whenever the input is focused, say whenever you tab over it, we want to have a small box shadow around the span. And you can make this whatever color you want. I've just made it a very faint gray and then a very faint blue for whenever it's checked. So let's save this and you can see how it looks. It's a little bit hard to see, but if you zoom in, you can see whenever we tab on it has this, tab off it has this, and it changes to a faint blue whenever we check it. So that looks nice, and we can actually transition the box shadow too, so it's a bit more smooth. All right, now that should fade as well. And as you can see, yeah, it fades on and off. So that's just a very small detail, but I like adding these small little details. It makes it look a lot better. So that's how you can add a toggle switch to your application. And of course, if you want, you can add a label next to it. You can pass that in as a prop and return a label right here. You can probably figure that out for yourself, so I'll leave that up to you. You can figure out how to style that if you like. But that's how you create a basic toggle switch in React. See, you don't need to bring in a bunch of new libraries. You have this very nice functional toggle switch with almost no effort.